When the Scots followed Wallace shouting, "Freedom!" they didn't realize that having no lord was the more important kind of freedom. For medieval Europeans, a lord was as essential as air. The Anglo-Saxons even enacted laws to ensure that everyone had a lord. The law stated that if someone didn't have a lord, the people around them were required to find one for them. In the eyes of medieval people, a person could be without family, but they could never be without a lord. The English word lord originates from the Old English hlaford, literally bread guardian, reflecting a feudal arrangement in which the lord offered sustenance and, in return, those in his care provided service. But in older Gallic and Germanic languages, the word for lord was synonymous with friend. The lord was the big brother who could protect you. The relationship between a lord and vassal was based on friendship and protection. This protection was mutual. The lord used power and wealth to ensure the vassal's safety and livelihood, and the vassal, in turn, would protect the lord's life and interests. So much so that early medieval oaths of fealty seem to be filled with deep affection, such as, "I will love what you love and hate what you hate. Your friend is my friend, your enemy is my enemy. And if my dear lord is murdered, I will share his fate. If he is hanged, I will be hanged beside him. If he is burned at the stake, let the flames consume me as well. If he drowns, I will drown with him." These oaths, which might seem like love letters, were also part of the knightly education. They were not only used in oaths to lords, but also in courtship. In the lord-vassal contracts signed by knights and noblewomen, knights would address the noblewomen with male titles, treating them as their lords, though whether they took their lord to bed was another matter. The relationship between lord and vassal was also mirrored in family dynamics. In the medieval family, the father was the absolute lord, and children were his vassals. Similarly, lords were considered the patriarchs of all their vassals' families, having the power to arrange their marriages. Great nobles were both the patriarchs and lords of their family members. The relationship between lord and vassal was complex. French nobles would execute a lower-ranking lord who defied their orders but would not harm the lord's knights, as this was part of the fealty bond. The loyalty between lord and vassal took precedence over family bonds. King Alfred the Great believed that protecting one's family and clan was a given, but when he offended a lord, he could not protect his family, or he would be disloyal. The rule, "family is less important than the lord," became a guiding principle for the Anglo-Saxons. Anglo-Saxon clans might fight brutally over trivial matters for decades, but would kneel before their lord to abandon vengeance or accept the lord's blood compensation. In medieval Europe, lords believed their vassals should be absolutely loyal. That's why many noble knights in stories killed their own kin for their lord, or abandoned family feuds for their lord's sake. By the later Middle Ages, as vassals pledged loyalty to more and more lords, the idea of absolute obedience gradually faded.